Hi, welcome back to Hawaii Turo. I don't know how you found me, but I'm glad you did. If you're wondering what is Turo, Turo is an app and a website where you can rent your cars out to strangers and you can just make all kinds of money. I know, it's crazy. I created this channel that will help you do that. I go over my tips, my tricks, and my stats to help you maximize the amount of money you can get and understand a lot of the rules and regulations in regards to Turo. So if you're a new host and you want some one-on-one coaching, you want some real-time advice, I would say look in the description below and check out my Patreon. It will help you. But yeah, let's get into this video. So this video is my monthly stats for the month of May. So before I get to the month of May, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Hawaii, what's going on. I mean, if you're planning on coming to Hawaii and you see this, it's gonna be crazy. There are so many people here and it's different from what it usually is. Before, it's usually just international people like Japanese and Australians, mainly Japanese people who do not rent cars. But now it's basically all Americans here and they're all renting cars, and the rental car shortage is real. I mean, cars are going for crazy amounts. So basically, you got a car on Turo, you're going to make some money right now. Who knows how long this will last? I'm hoping through the end of summer, I'm hoping. But this month, I had my best month ever. I know I said last month was my best month, but this month blew that out of the water. I did about, right here, I did about $38,000. I know, let me say it again. I did about $38,000 gross, not net, $38,000. I never even thought that was even possible with the amount of cars that I had in my fleet, 16. But, more than likely, it's probably 15 or 14 because cars go down. But let's get into the stats of the cars. So out of the 16 cars, I averaged about 13 to 14 cars going out. Right, so that's probably gonna be something like, if you look at your cars, you look at your stats, not every car is gonna go out every single day. That's just not how it works. I mean, with me, my utilization rate was about crazy. I know yours is not gonna be this high, but about 90-something%. Like basically all of my cars, if it was available to be rented, it went out every single day. And out of 23 of the days of last month, I averaged I went over $1,000. So for the whole month, I averaged about $1,200 every single day. Yeah, I mean, it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And let's go over the cars. So the first car, my Nissan Sentra, my 2019 Nissan Sentra, I averaged about $54 a day, and it only got booked for 15 days because of recalls. So I don't know if you had a recall problem yet, but you will sooner or later. Turo, you get an email to automatically just shut it down until you get it fixed. But unfortunately, my recall, the dealer said it won't be fixed until the end of fall. So basically, it is my personal car until then. But the time that it did get rented, I made $818, $54 a day. So I mean, that's all right. I mean, that is what it is. For the next car, my silver Mustang, 2016, it was booked 29 days. I know, 29 out of 31, and I did 2680. So I'm just gonna say, almost every one of my Mustangs, I did over $2,000, which I had never done that in my entire life. Ever doing this, it's never happened. And they were averaging between $92, went from $75 to $92, right? So $75 was my yellow Mustang, and that's my cheapest car. It averaged $75, and that did about $2,200. I have hit 21, 22 with that car before, 2 years ago. If you look at look at my stats for that car, I'll put it right here. Look at those stats, you'll see that. But yeah, you just go down the line, right? My two white Mustangs. One Mustang was out every single day and did 2382. My other white Mustang went out for it went out for 29 days for 2457. You see that averaged about $84 a day. The other one averaged 76. I mean, and then my 2017 Mustang, my best Mustang, it was out 20 days. But that was because I had an issue. I never even heard of a control module, which I'm gonna talk about in my expenses later in the video. I had to fix something, so it was down. So only about 20 days, but it made 2151. So it averaged over $100 a day. I mean, that is just crazy. I mean, it's just good. It's great. And then also my other silver Mustang, and that was booked 27 days for 2765. See, you see this over $100 that I'm making. I mean, this is my cut. This is, you know, after Turos take their 15%, this is my cut. Now let's go to the cheaper cars, then I'm gonna go to the more expensive cars. So my Sparks. So I don't know what you get for your little small compact cars, but for me, for last month, my Silver Spark, I did about $75 a day, and my Red Spark, I did about $63 a day. So that Silver Spark, I broke $2,000. What? You believe that? On a 2015 little Chevy Spark, I broke 2 G's in a month. That's insane. And in my other one, 2014, I did $18.94, so pretty close. And I guarantee you, month of June, it's gonna be higher. So let's go with my cheapest car, my 2013 Ford Fiesta. You think it's gonna be 2,000? No. People booked 2 months prior, and they got the really cheap rate. So it was out every single day. Oh well, 30 days out of 31, it did 1281. So average 42. I know that sucks. That's whatever. But I guarantee you, you know, for the month of June, it's gonna be in the mid 60s to 70s. So that's gonna be doing almost $2,000. That is a guarantee. And then let's go over what is it? Oh, the Sonic, the 2014 Sonic I just got. And that was booked 27 days for 2014 Chevy Sonic, getting $2,000, average $75 a day. It's crazy. And then yeah, for the one red Mustang, it got booked for 29 days for $24.45 for $84 a day. And then what? My newest car, my 2021 Chevy Trax. I know it booked every day since I got it. So it got booked for 23 days. I didn't have it the whole month, obviously. And it did about $25.95 for $112 a day. That's good. I think that's really, really good. But let's go to my two best cars. So I'm gonna do my 2018 Camaro. If you look at my last month stats for that car, somebody booked that car for a month for my really cheap rate with discounts. So that car didn't do so well last month. I think it did about $1,400. But this month, I knew it was gonna do so much better. So let's see what it did. It was booked 28 days out of 31, and it made a whopping $3,500. That's crazy. And that comes out to be 125. So do you think that's my high? No, not my high. My 2019 Chevy Camaro has done more money I ever thought I could ever make on a vehicle on Turo. So this car was booked 25 days, and it made a crazy amount. It made over $4,000. I'll say it again, over $4,000. That came out to be like $164 a day. I can't even imagine that. And it was basically a lot of 1 or 2 days. Basically 1 or 2 days were about 15 trips, and 2 of them was 3+. So like this month with my trips, most of my trips were about 1 or 2 days, about 83%. I know not a lot of people can run this business model full time. It doesn't work. There's a lot of turnover, but I can do it, you know, because this is all I do. So 80%, really good. Well, I'd say it is what it is. You get used to it. I do get irritated when I have to get 10 cars come back in the evening, but it is what it is. Let's go over the extras, because you know I push deliveries and extras, and like clockwork, like I said, between deliveries, extras, half of my trips add that. So it came out to 52% of my trips either added deliveries or extras, and that definitely has brought up those numbers, you know, my daily for those cars. So if you're wondering why my daily is so high or higher than wherever you're at, wherever your market is, that's another thing, because I made an extra $1,300 off of deliveries. I made about $900 off extras. My airports was another $720, and then you had some gas. You know, the gas fill was like $10. I did that. What was that? Did it about what is that? About 7. Oh, I did it about 11 times, right? And yeah, I mean that was that. So yeah, so let's say it again, about $38,000. But that is only the gross, right? You can't say that you just you pocket all that money, because it's not true. Every business has expenses. So let's get into these expenses. I hate expenses, but you gotta know, it sucks. So right off the top, I'm just gonna say exactly what the expenses are. The total expenses, I go into details. For last month, my expenses totaled the most I think I've ever seen before, $11,000. I know, you're like, Matt, $11,000 in expenses? How is that even possible? Well, you know, right off the top, since I got that new Chevy Trax on a lease, my car loans is over 5 G's, like barely over 5 G's. So instantly that's coming off the top. But then there were other things. You know, I had about, what, 4 registrations I had to pay for. So, you know, that came out to be probably like $1,200 or $1,300. But then I had breakdowns, you know, my Acura, I had multiple Mustangs. I mean, I had to fix tires. That Sonic that I just got, all the tires were bald, so I had to replace that. And it cost me $500. I had about 6 oil changes and I paid like $72. What else? Oh, another big thing that I had to do. I had to pay for parking, right? That's a new thing. Before I wasn't paying much of anything. But now my parking costs, it came out to be $979, which is almost another $1,000 new expense, right? It's just things like that. These are things that you're gonna have to take into account when you run your business. I mean, also with Uber. So every single time that my scooter is down, which it was back there, but it's somewhere else right now. Every single time that it's down, I have to take an Uber. I have to Uber to the airport. So I paid about $367 in Ubers. That's an expense. All right, if you gotta do that, that's an expense. Simple as that. What else? Yeah, I mean, you add up all those things, they come out to be about $11,000. So you got to take the number that I said, the 38,000 with that 11,000, and then, you know, boom, minus that, and then it comes out to a whopping $26,000. Who wouldn't like $26,000 as your net? I mean, that is a great number. I mean, that I can't even, like, yeah, I'm shocked by the number. It's crazy. I can't even put into words like what I'm thinking with that money, because the month of June, which is right now, I think it's going to be higher unless some more cars go down. I do have a car down right now, but I think that I might be able to do even more. And also I think for July, August, September, either I will keep at that level or I will go higher. And those are just crazy numbers. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. But I'm wondering, what did you do for the month of May? Right? Like, I'm curious. You know, I know different markets are busier, but I think across the board, like, everybody's traveling around the world, or at least traveling around the US, and people are, you know, they need cars. You know, the car shortage, you know, the microchips it's not really new cars on the market that much. And so there's not that many rental cars around, you know, and hopefully, you know, you're pricing your cars, you know, the way that it should, that you are getting booked pretty much every single day, and you're making the most money, making up for, you know, the downtime of, you know, all the stuff that happened last year. But yeah, put it in the description below how much money you did last month, how many cars you got. Pretty sure people will definitely like to see that, you know, so they can strive to do more. You know, like even me, I see there are people who have way more cars than me. I'm always curious what they make. You know, I can strive to do more. We should always strive to do more. But yeah, if you gotten this far, I would say definitely, you know what I say, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and get ready for next week's video. But yeah, thank you for watching.